All right. Hello, internet world. Hello, Twitter, Instagram, and the great beyond. My name is Morgenrede. I am not driving on the highway towards East Tennessee. I am online with my friends. This is Media Agnostic Doom Journaling. This is a weekly open mic featuring poets and fiction writers and nonfiction writers and depressed writers and uh, gamer writers and gay writers and all kinds of entertainers and creatives that love to either be depressed or be gay and everything in between. This week we have the same crew, pretty much the same crew, the homies. Starting us off though, the person who usually starts off, I like when they start us off because it kind of creates a tone. It's Lisa Marie.
Ooh, I'm gonna set off the tone pretty grimly. Trigger warning. Inspired by the events this week, online events, and it's titled "Default Friend." If you guys are not aware or young, default friend normally refers to that the Tom or the Jack when you first sign up to a social media platform, that automatic friend that you have once you create your profile. But before that, it was the title of that friend you had that was sort of your last choice of the crew. I actually I wrote this in 2018 and I have absolutely no recollection of starting it or finishing it. I don't know if I did it in one go, but it does coincide when they prescribed me with Wellbutrin, which is super contraindicated if you're bipolar. But I uncovered it last year and I did some editing. So here goes. Default friend. Trigger warning. I started it off with that just as a reminder. My friend was the one that set us up. She insisted I keep her posted on the events of the night. I did. A record of it is stowed away in a forgotten SIM card. I never get rid of them. Nokia flip with a T9 pad was my companion. It was a gift from my dad, complete with a detachable camera. I dropped the cell phone in the toilet earlier in the week, wetting the microphone and killing the audio function. Calls could be made, but no one could hear on the other side of the receiver. Text was my only way to communicate, and only after 8 p.m., preferably. We had driven in circles around town until he asked me if I wanted to see his work. I thought he may have secretly painted or sculpted. I knew my friend would pick someone right for me and agreed. He was a musician. I wasn't attracted to him, but I wanted to be a good sport. I thought about messaging my friend that I was afraid, but what would that do? We were in the partially abandoned industrial zone of town. He said something about it soon being revitalized as the arts district. It's now vibrant, just as he said it would be. He held the door open for me to exit. It was quaint and chivalrous. He escorted me towards a building that was a former factory converted into a mixed-use artist colony. He led me up the dingy stairs to a soundproof recording studio. I texted my friend where we were. This is where the magic happens, he said. It wouldn't be the last time I heard those exact words from the lips of a mediocre man. I didn't know what to say, so I asked about his band, the only thing I knew about him. He bragged. A little bit of everything. A boss. I heard a loud click. The sound from the padlock key set the tone for the night. I knew in that instant he wasn't interested in getting to know me. I walked around the perimeter of the room pretending to read the plaques and pawing at the memorabilia. He pulled a six-pack out of the fridge and handed me a Coors Light. Took a sip and set it down quickly. I asked if he was touring. Of course he was. Tour his life. My phone chirped. He told me to text her. The fun was about to begin. And I did. What else was I supposed to do? He grabbed my hand, took me towards the mixing console, and ordered me to sit. I sat on an amp. He played a bit of his new album. It was noise. I said I loved it. He started fidgeting with the controls and adjusting the audio of the song. I wanted these changes, but the dicks voted it down. I'm too much of a visionary, you know? I nodded. He turned around, changed the CD, and outblasted heavy guitar riffs. He asked if I liked the album. Of course I did, I answered. I'm polite, my weakness. I grabbed the beer and sipped. He played with my free hand and then that finger wriggle thing to the palm of my hand that meant he wanted more. I turned my face away and bopped to the music. I did I didn't notice when he put my hand down his pants and cradled my fingers around his limp penis. When I realized what I was touching, I jumped and fell to the ground. He grinned. He kissed me aggressively on the floor. My shirt was off, his elbow dug into my bicep. I was immobile. He whispered, "Be open-minded." He stopped to finish his beer and had another one straight away. I rocked myself in the corner. My phone chirped. "What's going on?" My friend asked. "We made out," I replied. "That's her again, isn't it?" "Tell her I'm about to titty fuck you." So I did. I didn't know what else to do. He handed me another beer. I thought things would be easier to bear. A little drunk, so I gulped it fast. Like I said before, you have to open your mind, experience life. I stared at the padlocked door. He started his third beer and sat next to me, kissing me softly along my arm. "Your baby's soft," he said. "Maybe it wouldn't be so bad." He grabbed me again and kissed hard. My phone went off again. "I guess it's going good." I wanted to text no, but I didn't want to upset my friend. We were soon making out again. He pushed me on my back and started grinding. He unclipped my bra in one swift motion. His arrhythmic motion caused rug burns along my bony spine. "You're going too fast," I complained. He started fondling my breasts and sucked and bit. I was able to slip away, but he was soon on top of me again. He was out of shape and breathing heavy. "The problem is you girls don't ever know what you want." I said I was sorry. "You want it." He took his shirt off. "Look at you. You're loving it. Just open your mind." He started unbuckling his pants. "Open your mind." He came towards me, hitting my head against the floor, pinning my arms, prying my thighs with his knees. I didn't know it would be my first time, I whispered. I was fighting, and that made him happy. The blows had me winded. I gave in and just laid there, motionless, defeated. I was still worried about a good impression. This made him angry. He wanted a struggle. He cut my breasts, squeezed them together, and tightly rubbed. Painfully, I grimaced. He smiled. He enjoyed my discomfort, but was still going flaccid. There wasn't enough resistance. He forced his penis in my mouth, but I was able to punch him away. He let go of me and stood over my face, violently jerking off. I closed my eyes and held my breath. I was sure he would regain his erection and start again. I could hear the clanking of the loosened belt. He stroked faster and faster until he ejaculated onto my face, then spat at me. I let out a sigh of relief. I wiped myself off with his shirt and recovered my bra. He was visibly upset at the circumstance of his orgasm. I hugged and thanked him. We went back to the car and he drove me home in silence. It was a shorter ride on the return. I smelled of sweat and saliva and incomplete sex. I took a beating. When I arrived, I locked the door behind me and texted my friend, "I'm home." She replied, "That was quick." It wasn't nearly fast enough. I took off my clothes, attached my camera to the malfunctioning cell phone, and took photos of the black and blues. The resolution so bad that the bruises were barely visible on my skin tone. The underwear I wore was too sexy and suspicious. They screamed, "Wanted it." So I wrapped them up in a plastic bag and buried it in the back of my closet. I ran a hot bath and cried. I soaked until it was time for Dad to get ready for work. I didn't sleep. I had hand and knee prints bruising from neck to chest, all along my arms and my thighs. It hurt to move. Following day, I met up with the girls at a local pizzeria. I wore a wool turtleneck. It was June. I feigned a cold. Sniffles. My friend brought up that I had a date the night before. Immediate dread. How did it go? Awful. Where did you go? The recording studio. What was it like? Quiet. Did you hook up? Yes. Are you going out again? Absolutely not. What was it like? Extra small. Everyone laughed. For a second, I had power. My friend asked if I had done all the things in the messages. I nodded. Why, she asked, but I demurred. I did not know, is what I answered. Will you see him again? Not alone. That elicited another round of chuckles. I joined the laughter. though the exhalations exacerbated the aching of my ribs. My friend admitted to the crowd that he was a jerk to everyone in his van. She shared a few bits of his storied past. I was stunned. She knew? I spent the blistering summer hiding behind sweaters and turtlenecks. The marks faded, the memory remained. Fall came and I was free to add additional layers of clothing. My friend went away to college. I stayed behind. Babysitting took up my time. I didn't have the co-ed life. I worked and did until it came time to party. Whenever my friend was in town, she would invite me out. We were the center of it all. Dollar Draft Mondays, $2 Tuesday, Ladies' Night, Thirsty Thursday, Friday Feeling. Every night was an occasion, but mostly we stuck to house parties. On a brisk autumn day, I dug up the bag out of my closet, walked to the piers, and dumped it in the river. I dyed my pink hair black, applied to a job I was not qualified for, interviewed, and was hired on the spot. It was a new beginning. I texted my friend the news. We had to celebrate. At a house party, of course. None of us had houses, but did have the box, a free space about double the size of the average vestibule. The box was where the brace-faced blonde gave blowjobs to a circle of cousins and that one Chihuahua fucking family friend nicknamed El Tiburón. My friend got too drunk and told me far too many boys were into that brown girl. Why do they like her anyway? She's just so brown. She was too drunk to realize she was being tucked into bed and talking to that brown girl that was so brown. I found a boyfriend. I chose sex. It was bad as often is the case with the inexperienced. My friend finally moved out of the dorms. We cleaned her apartment. She drank some peroxide and pills to get her boyfriend back. She told me she was embarrassed and wished she had called me instead of 911. After all, I was her neighbor and trained in first response. Our outings weren't as frequent, but we were in touch. I had a breakup. Probably because she screamed at my then boyfriend that every time I said his gender neutral name during sex, I was really just saying her gender neutral name. A coincidence born out of 1980s name trends. The ever changing man at the party was somebody she either disregarded or discarded. I learned discernment. She really had luck with partners she chose for herself. I couldn't trust the pick she had reserved for me. These parties weighed on me. I couldn't stand how much she performed, faking dumb for cuteness' sake. She couldn't stand any attention I received. She pitied my lack of status, and I pitied her lack of self-respect. She believed she was my only lifeline, and I knew whenever she reached out to me, I was her last resort, the default friend. The turmoil over my memories of abuse resurfaced every time we made contact, but I never told. 12 years later, I tweeted, I want to kill my rapist. A comedian retweeted and made me viral. My friend texted me that she was so sorry. I told her it wasn't her fault. My friend never made the connection, or so I thought. Closure did not come with that disclosure. I hadn't even gone into particulars, just an admission of my fate. It would take another 2 years for me to tell my friend his name, to which she responded, Are you sure that happened? My biggest fear realized disbelief. I started taking inventory of our friendship. She was vain but frail, mean but broken. I often wondered why I accepted her shortcomings. I didn't want any harm to come her way as it had for me. Sacrificed myself many times to protect her, but I knew she wouldn't do the same in return. All I wanted was to unfriend and unbind our existence. We had grown considerably apart, but it wasn't enough. I wanted all erased, but was that possible? Memories don't just disappear, or can they? Can the memories just be blocked and right-clicked away? Turns out they can, and sometimes the universe conspires, despite the many connections that remain, to never allow us to cross paths again. I perfume and fluff my hair in the morning to face the workday. Turns out you can just revolt and drift away. End scene.
Wow. Like that's the piece. I'm not trying to interrupt.
That's the piece.
Wow. Uh, I think it's incredible that I'm listening to this piece going like 60 miles an hour in like
Don't
darkness.
crash. That would be that
I
would
ain't
be
gonna crash.
responsible.
I was just so. I mean, first off, it's incredible to be, this honest with the story, and to get into not only, because there's the action in the middle of, the story with the violence, but to go through the beginning stages and the after, shock kind of stages of like when your friend finds out, and they're just like, I'm so sorry. And, there's that reckoning feeling. I mean, there are so many emotional turns in this story that it's almost hard to feel a certain way. And it's not necessarily, I mean, yes, there is sympathy, but there's also just kind of this confusion of like, when something does happen to you like this, and you just kind of have to swallow, your pride and swallow the pain and move on through this world, through this kind of like weird, like that quote, you can't just right click it away. The way that you put this story through the lens of like the 21st century online kind of culture really like it like super humanized and also dehumanized in different ways that made sense in the context of like the part of the story. And I mean, like, and just like bravo. So I'm very curious. One, is this published anywhere?
It's not. It was requested. I only found it because it was requested. And I was like, "Oh, what's this? Let me send it." And then I read it and I was like, oh, "Holy shit, when did I write this?" And then I had to look back. And I was like, it's written.
True.
It's meant to
Yeah,
be.
it is. I don't know. It's like I'm curious. When do you think you wrote this?
Well, Google Docs said it was started and mostly finished in 2018. It has like not that many edits from when it was created, but I'm dead honest, I do not recall when I started it if I was, feeling good or bad or what. I just don't until I pulled it back up.
I mean, for a story that's almost 10 years old, I mean, it holds up, and it's fascinating that it like because like I joined like the alt lit indie lit, this part of Twitter in 2021, 2020. But this story has both of the feel of like post COVID and pre COVID like combined. There is that like isolation, and there is like this kind of troubling way that that people nowadays process traumatic experiences, and the trouble with when something happens, like how that affects friend groups and like social dynamics, and like do you keep friends or not keep friends, like the conversation that was had about the the assault, was very like just so casual, like it's only real when it happens, and then when you try to talk about it, it gets lost in the ether, whether it's over the phone or you're video chatting
Yeah.
or texting, it like somehow
Yeah, you don't know how to
becomes,
bring it up or how to express it.
yeah, like you don't like conversations through technology aren't real. Like you want them to be, but unless you have a human face in front of you where you can empathize with that person, it just can never, and then that's why it's hard for, movements and for people to like talk about this online. It's tricky because it's like I would much rather be with you in person, to just hear it, to hear that. Because like you can tell when you hear the pain in someone's voice, or when you can hear like kind of this like flaming, like this flickering flame in a person's soul when they're talking about something that's happened to them. Like you can feel that. But when you read it, on like a text or if you read it, because like it's different if it's published somewhere, so like clearly, but through like instant messaging, something gets lost. But I mean, for a piece that, has both the elements of nonfiction and fiction. I assume more nonfiction than fiction. I mean, it's just incredible and a great, like this is what media agnostic doom journaling is all about. It is journaling through doom. And I mean, god damn, it was media, agnosticism at its finest through all these different mediums that experience goes through to, process, grieve, and move on. I don't know. Do you have any plans with this piece, or did you just want to just totally create a crazy mood for the reading?
I sent it to two people.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I was thinking of a few other places to send it to, but I had a bunch of like really sad poems accepted and they all came out together. So I was like, I'm not going to continue this streak for a little. Let me break into like February and the season of love into to calmer pieces. So people don't get worried.
True, right. Because you have to let people know when you write stuff like this, like, by the way, I'm good. It's
Yeah.
just, again, you just have to write it out, Like, I mean, I know people that have been like robbed at gunpoint or like have had their parents die and, they write about it. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And they're like, oh yeah, I'm fine. That's our job as writers is, we process, we don't look away, we put everything down on the paper and we keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Well, I kept going for 2018 to 2025.
Fucking A. Hey, that's a good
Uh,
fucking run considering
I
everything
mean,
that
I'm glad
happened.
visited and returned to visit it after like processing a lot of it. Because one thing is experiencing it and then growing through it and then writing it. But after you write it, you go through another grief of now it's written. Will I read
Yeah,
it? Will I send it to somebody? Is it just going to sit in a drawer? So I'm glad I had that distance.
absolutely. No, yeah, that's something I have yet to. I think I'm probably going through that now where like I'm writing like personal pieces about like my ex and like college and I'm just letting them sit because I'm like, do I reveal this much about myself? Do I, like how do I want to present myself now? Like, am I a different person? Am I noticing certain patterns and behaviors are like better, worse? I don't know. Yeah, no, that's such a good point you bring up. Fucking A. Lisa, I,
Thanks for
damn.
having me again.
Oh, of course, nearly fucking speechless. Also, everybody in the reading, FYI, y'all can absolutely interject and comment on the pieces that are read aloud because again, I am driving on the road, so sometimes I can hear or just sometimes I'm too busy fucking driving. So yeah, feel free to interject. And also as well, please message in the chat any lines or anything that you like. 'Cause this is hard work that we're doing here to present work and to be vulnerable. Yada yada yada. Anyways, thank you, Lisa. Okay, I don't know who I specifically had go next, but since they messaged me, I will give them priority. Uh, the best descriptive poet that I know, Mark Parsons.
Okay. You caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting that right at that moment, but I'm here.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I'm again.
All
I'm go-
right. And let's see. I'm going to post links to the poems. I'm going to read two poems tonight. These are persona poems, and One of them, the first one, is about a real person. And the title of the poem is his name. The name of the first poem, or the person it's named after, is Rockwell Kent. For those who don't know, Rockwell Kent was basically, well, let me give you a dictionary or a kind of Wikipedia entry. He was born in June 1882 and he died in 1971. He was an American printmaker, illustrator, writer, sailor, adventurer, and voyager. So he kind of led a very interesting life. And let's see a little bit about his legacy. He was involved in kind of the early 20th century socialist movement, was sympathetic to the Soviet Union in some degree, and I think was involved in sort of a early what was it? Let's see. Right, he was a member of the Socialist Party of America, Industrial Workers of the World, American Federation of Labor, and Congress of Industrial Organizations. And he did some propaganda art, kind of American realism. And his lithographs, his woodcut prints are very well known. So, without more stumbling around and pussyfooting, the first poem is Rockwell Kent. The rain outside the cave is wet, cold, and doesn't resemble anything other than rain. No matter how long or how hard I look. In the morning, after digging with our bare hands all night, we'll be hungry. Once the storm abates, we can try to catch some fish. One man volunteers and begins collecting driftwood, piling it near the mouth of the cave. The sand is loose and dry and doesn't hold our tracks. Our footprints shift and dissolve in a riot of peaks and divots. Wind shear down the mountain, louder than a freight train, ruffles the leaden surface of the surging bay. I was working on my third sketch when the barometric pressure started to drop. The boat listed. I went below. The storm grew worse. Through a porthole, I watched the heave of charcoal sea summit the gray horizon, obscure the benign bureaucracy of shore. The water edge recedes up and down the beach, exposed. It looks like south of the point, the weather improves. On the peninsula, they might not be aware of the conditions here, or might expect bad weather here, and be in the habit of staying west of the headland. That could be why we saw no other boats coming in from the east. Officials at the border detained me as I was leaving Germany. Ideal socialist states confiscates my drawings. the tawdry aftermath, a letdown. Permits were obtained, and I drank punishing Greek wine at a sidewalk cafe while waiting for my train. A woodcut of a boy in the expressionistic style officials thought concealed a map of coastal defenses. Whatever my unconscious mind, conspiring with my hand, left for others to find in the harsh geometry of his face was a glacial matter, trace of friction that left behind a record of the gouge, every pass a tiny cirque, the border of each shape a terminal moraine where sharpened concave blade pushed darkness up and sloughed it off to excavate the hollows of his cheeks and brush a gentle light on his brow ridge and his temples. From a time long before the boy, much further back in time, peeling the darkness off in strips. Skipper says the man didn't have family. Skipper checked before we left. Skipper says, we understand the cold body of the sailor when we pick it up to move it. Our pulses strong enough that our shirts have dried on our backs like shirts over hot stones. The dead body stayed cold in wet clothes. The second poem is titled simply, A Mail Order Bride Considers Her Career as a Model in her husband's native country. Does it matter who gets to think in terms of B or C cups, a double D or true E, the exception, like Sofia Vergara and Kate Upton, with Jessica Rabbit cartoon proportions and all natural breasts? Or which one of us, she or I, fills in with shadow of crosshatch and lines as you begin to understand what was perfect where you found me? You can't negotiate away, take with you from that other place. For every model as subtly flawed as I might be the first time we get a call, there will be 10 to take her place who are perfect. And for every one of those 10 who isn't as perfect as the others, there will be 10. Our beauty, like theories in quantum mechanics, waiting for close observation to establish the flaw. We all hear the same thing. Less is the difference between us. Our slight variations ascend to a point like a pyramid, to a point that's ideal, like the dead bodies of victims a Cold War totalitarian dictator murdered with state-sponsored violence to demonstrate in the usual strong-arm fashion a hoard of political capital. The client flips through the portfolio, turning pages of glossy, stiff, heavyweight stock. Light from fluorescent lights set and drop ceiling tiles, spills on the shine to flash across a stick-thin woman thrusting out a proud, defiant, adolescent boy's bony bird chest. The light is angry, glaring white like neo-Nazi milk with marching anthem shout. The client looks, only satisfied when he finds the flaw. It's easier never to give up looking for what isn't there than it is to admit it's not there, where you can't find it. You're afraid to expose yourself as the person who didn't see what's there and what will have been there in the future, even at a much later date, even in retrospect. Beauty, like theories in science, like innocence, living in totalitarian dictatorships, is provisional, never confirmed, but is always attendant on new evidence. No one is innocent. No one is beautiful. No theory ever is proved. Do you believe in regions so remote, so removed from your point of origin, you start to yearn for a new loss, to learn a new lexicon of distance, rules, and relationships, to track an emotional exchange rate and calculate with each fluctuation? Is there something far enough in the past or that will come to be that you forget and turn around and look? I'm nothing if not accommodating, but still unsure I'll be enough to support your unrealistic expectations, grandiose plans. Don't tell me that's part of my allure. Leave me alone. Let me get back to work. Thank you.
Beautiful. Uh, Beautiful, like I saw Lisa describe, scenic with this second poem. Uh, Almost dropped my charger there. Just very, very thought provoking in the sense of I was hooked on one line where you said beauty is professional, and the way that you kind of tied in beauty standards with the state, and with, of course, this mail order bride, and the modeling, kind of like early modeling industry, and the way that it is so, like, it's weird, not to be personal, but like this, I keep telling my coworkers, like, all right, this year I'm gonna grow all my hair out and I'm gonna be fat and I'm gonna get a bunch of tattoos because for some reason that's what all the motherfucking women in the South are into nowadays. And it's because I've been a skinny, short haired, no tattoo guy for 30 years of my life. And so I'm like, okay, do I just have to like go with the flow? But like, it's that tale as old as time. If I do that, then suddenly the skinny dudes with no tattoos and short hair will be, getting all, the attention. But no, it really made me kind of reevaluate just how difficult it is for people to wake up and to see themselves and to understand beauty. And that first piece with Rockwell Kent, I'm curious, where is Rockwell Kent from?
Um, I I think he's from New York. Hold on a
Interesting.
sec. Yeah, he was born in Tarrytown, New York.
Okay, because I am, of course, I'm totally not looking him up on my phone while going 60 miles an hour. But no, I mean his work is definitely of that era of American realism, like you described. But it was very cool to hear kind of so that story because what it sounded was like a story was him traveling. Was that based on a true travel where he had his art confiscated?
Yes,
Interesting. And so it was by a socialist state in what it was in Germany, correct?
yes.
So I'm like, I don't know, like what came about? Like, did that affect his art? Was that kind of his introduction to like early, like, fascist German kind of like I don't I'm curious.
I don't really know how it affected him. Um, he was really a very interesting man. Uh, and and I guess if you looked at him quite closely, you might think he was in some ways contradictory, because on the one hand, his politics tended to gravitate toward collectivism, and at the same time, he was a very independent uh, kind of person. He didn't fit into any kind of really political or social groups. And he tended to romanticize uh, these very Nordic, far north communities, like you would find in Finland or Norway or Siberia. These small, far north communities where people had to live in these very tight collectives, right? Where it was kind of a consequence of nature, right? And instead
Okay.
something that was kind of politically organized, but where like if you're living up in northern Canada, you know, um, life would be extremely harsh, and the whole village would kind of have to live together, in this enormous cooperative just to survive, right?
Right. And I can
and
totally
and
see
and
that,
so that's a little bit different than kind of what you would find, in like 1920s or 1930s New York City at the Union Hall, right?
Right.
It was, and so he was a very interesting person, just in terms of being involved in so many things, being an adventurer, being an explorer, doing social realist art, but also kind of obsessed with the heroic and the mythic, um, and these kinds of things. So it's really hard to get a handle on it, I guess.
Right. Like the way I try to maybe rationalize it is that, it's turn of the 20th century. And so perhaps his exposure and, in New York City, of all places, of this extreme industrialization, I mean, had to have had an effect on him. And,
Sure.
for him to go out and travel had to have been some kind of, there had to have been some kind of catharsis there where he saw like there is another way to live. And perhaps, the way that he created his art wasn't necessarily political with intention, but he saw the social kind of sphere of these tribal, Nordic collectivized groups, and he was just like, wow, these people know each other, they work with each other, they're not just driving vehicles and paving everything and cutting down trees, like almost like an early kind of honest conservatism. But still, I mean, a great fucking character, and I can't wait to look at more of his work. um Really, really love that piece. The second piece, I'm curious what inspired that piece.
Well, you know, I just this idea you know, like uh, when if you're judging like a beauty contest, or even something, any kind of aesthetic judgment, um, you know, the differences are so minute, right?
Right.
When you get to a very, very high level, it's really not about just what's beautiful, but it's kind of about, finding a justification, for ranking one thing lower than the others, right? It's kind of easier to find a flaw than it is to objectively evaluate beauty in some respects. Uh, and, how that kind of, I was writing this poem around 2019 and 2020, when things were quite politically charged, in a
Right.
way that we hadn't seen, I think, you know, uh, I mean, going back all the way to the late 90s, when kind of the culture war kind of kicked off with Clinton and the Republicans, like around 98 when Clinton was impeached, and we kind of had this acceleration of the cultural and political conflict. And around 2018 and 2019, things were really heating up. And just this idea that, anyone could be canceled, right? It's like,
Right.
if you dig far enough in the past, you know, you're going to find something,
Yeah.
right? And in the same way that if you look at something long enough, you're going to find the flaw, right?
Ah.
And that's kind of the way quantum mechanics is, right? In quantum mechanics, you don't really have truth. You have a theory that is only existing until you disprove it, right? And that was something I was thinking a lot about, totalitarianism, and how really nobody's ever innocent, right? It's just, you just haven't been proven guilty, right?
That is that, and that's scary to think nowadays with how passive some people's roles are in, the creation of like the surveillance state or like these
Right.
new beauty
Right.
standards or like these
Right.
very
And
like
this, and I mean, I'm all about beauty standards. I mean, I'm an artistic person. I'm aesthetically oriented. I understand that, you know, it's like when I write a line in a poem, like there are 10 versions of that line that I rejected, at least, right?
right, yeah.
It's like, and so it's like it's always a process of winnowing out and kind of reducing things and trying to get to that peak, right, of beauty in a poem. So those were some of my thoughts that I was trying to kind of use this situation.
I love it. I love that idea of, when you look too long at something, you will find the flaw. And I think that, it goes, like you said, perfect with, creatives and artists that, especially I think filmmakers, when just that long, arduous process of making a film, at a certain point, they've seen so much of that film and then it gets released. And then it's like, okay, let me make something before I go fucking insane staring at this old work of mine, and you just have to either advance your aesthetics, kind of like I think of Ari Aster, and how quickly he went from movies like Hereditary and Midsommar to Beau is Afraid, and then Eddington, and just how different he has been able to shift and to look and to notice, like, well, this movie's good, but I see these flaws. Let me try something new. But I'm glad that I was kind of on the nose with how I understood your pieces, and this is, a similar mark with, the beautiful imagery and the scenic kind of story telling that you put forth with your poetry. But I don't know, kind of a new Mark Parsons that we saw tonight. And thank you so much for presenting these pieces.
Well, thank you for doing this, Colton. I know it's always challenging on the road, but it's great, and thank you for letting me read. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. I don't know. Weirdly enough, I think I pay attention more when I am on the road. It's weird. It's a weird kind of like when I'm in my apartment, I am staring at all the books I haven't read and looking at all the laundry I haven't done. But on the road, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm going 60 miles an hour and I'm just happy as a fucking clam. All right. So thank you, Mark. Up next, let's go with the man, the myth, the legend, the man who can put a hole in the wall, but can also put a hole in your heart lovingly. Rudy Johnson.
Hey, what's up? Uh,
What's
so
up?
what's up? What's up?
Ah.
What up? So today I'm gonna read a fucking thing about intrusive thoughts. I guess this was on Expat, I think. I don't know. This is this is called natural language processing, and it's after Terry A. Davis, who said that he said the N word to ward off demonic entities. I'm gonna say the N word for a bit. Uh, we go a little bit like this. Obscenity is second nature, second breakfast to me, the most evil redneck hobbit. So when I say shit like, suck 3 nigger men, Mr. Jiggerhen, or fuck my body, animal and gourd hottie, shit like 4 race communists on the turnpike, scream out! You're like, huh? When I go, I'm John V. Herringbull, animal long toe, nigger in the bush with a cunting crow, scrim to the gym. What I mean, shit, nigger. I'm Mr. Wilson F. Kajigger, fucking Mexican girl model with a good rigger. Scrim out! Thin and thinner, and rigatoni John, long con for fucking dinner. I'm trying to communicate. Kate Beckinsale, cross nails, 1 cross, 3 given, 4 nailed her, formaldehyde in the horror trailer, suck the cock of Lord Norman Mailer, scream out, Mormon jailer, put it up a girl's dress and railer, retweet the dead kids for the scroll stick Japanese whaler. Research! These words are to fill negative space, suck toes of the hose nicknames space, fucking scrim out, fucking shoot a BFG size load on her white chocolate face. I'm actually a transgender ace. Suck 3 fucking dicks from the land of Thrace. Thrice I've tried to explain my unburied fucking faggot named Diggory BT McNace. Here, let me give you AIDS in disgrace. I'm not chasing a trans girl who's preening, chasing a car owned by Mr. Warwick R. Keenan and Kell. What the hell? April Ravine under an American spell. Spread eagle. Kick the beagle. Kite the captain named Andrea R. Regal. Mel Captain. King of Corn, Michael Dorn, black man doing scat porn. And when I say shit like this, I'm a bliss. I'm a miss to not say I'm filling space. Fuck your man's in the base. Drop the vase. John Romero, fucking Stevie Case. Editing helps. Fred Phelps, they're destroying all the gay people. Well, this is not a cry for Gord 40, Chuck Shorty. Help, Lordy, whip me like Jordy. George Washington fucking a slave with his dick, shooting loads, my lord. Loads, all ropey and cordy. When I say shit like George Jefferson's clit, Messerschmitt, dive bomb the Americans, Herr Scheißer, and shit. Hollywood engine, I'm hit. I'm saying that when I say kill 1,400 gays, Rear Admiral motion days, when I say that, I mean Red Queen, barely a teen, suck a priest in hand-me-down jeans with a G, Jean Grey, hound me all day. My brain is in my DMs going, respond, bitch, respond. Hey, hey, so when I say this shit, like, well, no. When I say, Milk Captain, you ho! When I scream racist nonsense, Cotton Eye Joe, I'm screaming it. Shit, Mr. J, suck on my tit, suck my dick! He was a male whose hotel wholesale was legit. Scream out. When I scream out, I'm screaming nonsense because Beelzebub, nigger thug, because saying racist nonsense is less harmful mentally, allegedly, socially, than saying the intrusive shit. There is doo-doo feces everywhere on the walls, bubbling to the top of my consciousness like a JavaScript event bubbling to the top of the DOM. And this poem's like me attempting suicide. I don't know how to end it. Suck my dick. I'm stupid. You're Mr. Clark Cupid. People, hear me. This isn't Berryman or a desperate Ukraine, so I know you're not impressed. But I'm not a POS. I'm just DOA. Your moms will say, I'm just talking like I do on the Discord. I'm just talking like yay myself. I'm just talking like yay. I don't have to be myself. I'm just talking like it's just you and me doing some NLP, natural language processing. And that's it. Lord, I apologize, etc.
Wow, don't apologize for shit. That was fucking. But Bizarre took the words out of my mouth. Peak fucking flow state. Literally, like, I don't know what kind of beat you could put that to. I don't know how better you could, like, lyricize this, but it felt so improvisational. It felt like you sat down and just wrote it in one fucking go. Like, it was so smooth. It was smooth fucking, and of
Huh.
course, like it's never a Rudy Johnson piece if you don't relate something like Keenan and Kel with fucking George Washington and cum shots and like fucking
Gotta have
fuck
Avril Lavigne in it too. Yeah,
and
no,
Avril
definitely. It's definitely
Lavigne.
all the hits. Yeah.
Dude, I was just thinking about
Um,
her when she gets interviewed and she's like, well, what is punk? You know, like I don't if you're trying to be punk, I don't really think that's it. Like, it was like some shit like that where she's
right,
talking about
dude.
like,
That was the interview. That was one of the best interviews ever.
oh my
Like a pop star
God.
is ever good. But so like I made this because Terry Davis used to like say the N word and stuff on his stream a lot, and people like a lot of things that were inferred from that were basically like he's racist or whatever. But he talked about demons and shit. And when I get intrusive thoughts, like really nasty shit, just like kill yourself, like your friends hate you or whatever, you know, and I think about saying some of that shit, like to somebody or to even myself, even out loud, even having the thought in your mind or whatever. It's like when I think those thoughts, I just say random shit like, "Hey, nigger jet," or "Hey, fuck the man named Brett," or "Hey, I'm Charles T. McPritt," or something like that. And saying that actually, does ward off the demons, right? I mean, because you're literally putting some other shit in some garbage basically into your head, and it's better than the garbage that's in there, currently. So that's kind of what I was trying to get at. Like, it's
Right.
processing and these intrusive thoughts through basically clanging. That's pretty much like in schizophrenia and some other disorders. That's what people do when they like the way the words sound and what you picked up on like the flow state or what of it. I pretty much wrote this in one thing, and then I edited it for like sound, so it really is like a clanging. Somebody when I posted on Expat, they mentioned clanging. They said, "Is clanging a literary device?" Like I don't know, but no, that's basically what it is, and it's I don't have schizophrenia, but I think I can understand what Terry was doing when he's saying, yeah, just nigger, fuck, the feds and the demons and the fucking demon glowy niggers, like that kind of shit. Just say that instead of saying that instead of what's really on your mind, because what's really on your mind could be more harmful if said, that's what you think, that's kind of that's the mindset, right?
Right. There's like a weird kind of like when you're playing, like especially if you're gaming and your body is kind of quote unquote elsewhere and the language you use, you're either like hard, calling out the game and you're like in comp and you're trying to win, or you just say
Mm.
whatever's on your fucking mind because you're with a bunch of people
Yeah.
that, you've never met them ever. and you can kind of say whatever you want without any real consequence. I mean, maybe somebody can report you and you get like a temporary ban, whatever, but like there is this like kind of beauty. Like for me, it's when I'm working and I'm like working on a hotline and I'm making all these sandwiches and somebody told me, they were like, dude, how do you do that? And I'm like, honestly, I just turn my brain off and I just focus on calling back to my
Mm.
chef. I think about the most retarded thing ever that is so low
Yeah.
brain that it helps me
Yeah.
just do like basic menial tasks. And I try not to burn myself. I try not to put myself in too much pain, or else that'll take me out. Or if I look someone in the eye for too long, that'll take me out. It's just maintain. Same with pinball. Weirdly enough, like a flow state is like peak autism where you are just so
Yep.
like you are the right and left flipper. You are nothing else in the room. You don't exist.
Yep.
But with
No.
language, to process language kind of detached from your body, but still, man, damn, this is like the most philosophical I've ever gotten about the N word. Holy fuck, this is like, damn, this is fucking crazy. I love this. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so glad that you touched on this topic because it's something that I've been thinking about for a minute.
It's time.
And like it's so I kind of a spoiler, but for me, I'm writing a piece that's it's basically about this pinball player who's racist and he just dropping the N bomb over and over and over, and
Oh yeah.
he's like family's been in the clan, and but he meets a black guy and both of them have kids that love pinball, and so there's like this kind of like reconciliation. And so I
Mm.
don't know, this piece is like fucking inspired me to do that. Of course, I won't be
Oh
able
yeah,
to
dude.
I won't be able to have the flow state kind of language, but what this does is just kind of shows the freedom that you can have when you let the language go before the intention.
No, you're right. Yeah. No, and that's something I like to try to do. Uh, with various levels of success, I've done it in the past, but I think this is one of my ones that does it probably better than my other ones. I think let the flow kind of go. Yeah.
Well, right, because sometimes you hit on something that's more pertinent with like the social or political world, or sometimes it, reflects an event in your life. But, for this, I
Yeah.
think with language, processing that in and of itself, is you're showing that process as the piece itself. Um,
Hmm.
and I think it's fucking impressive. I think it's not only impressive, but it's hilarious. And if a motherfucker tells me, "Oh, this piece is just a bunch of offensive language," bro, they miss the fucking point. And that is exactly what
I
it's
mean,
supposed to do. It shows who the real retards are because they can't appreciate the fucking value of a piece that is just pure fucking language processing.
this is actually a bunch of just offensive language. So they would be right, and that's true, but it's also other things too. And I think it can be both, and that's cool. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right,
both of those things. Some people are gonna read this and be like, "Well, fuck that," and that's good because that's them saying their truth or whatever. But this is me saying my truth in some way. I think Terry A. Davis, the legend, the man, he was also saying his things in his own way too. So like I said, it's dedicated to him.
And I think we need more folks like these streamers that, because some people try to be streamers that like are like, oh, I'm this streamer, I represent this, I represent blah 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 community. I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't give a fuck. Like, and
Right?
be
Yeah.
entertaining. Like, show me what
Yes.
makes you different from other people. Like, because
Yeah.
I'm growing out of playing video games. One, because I haven't found a video game that I've loved since Overwatch and Halo 3, and that just kind of
I hear
shows
you.
me and how toxic I used to be. But also because pinball is what interests me. But like, dude, when
Hmm.
I play pinball with people that are like so fucking aggro about it, oh, it is
Hmm.
so much fun. Because I mean, like,
It's on, huh? It's on like
oh,
Donkey Kong.
dude. Oh my God. There's a guy, if y'all want to look him up, his name is Eric Stone. He's a weatherman.
Hmm.
Like ideally
Holy
the
shit.
most calm, like, oh, today we're gonna have, this cold front come in. But like when he's playing pinball, I mean, whenever he loses a ball, I mean, fuck, god damn it, shit, motherfucker, cunt face, shit, fuck. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then he'll just go back and he'll go and he'll approach the game and he's like, all right, this is what I need to do. And I mean, the way he's able to lock in and lock out and
Yeah.
crash out, but then recover,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
incredible.
No,
It's
it's actually
honestly impressive.
it's actually a lot of control, like in people that like crash out like that, especially like people that do that in public. I think they have a lot of self-control where you think they don't have it because
Right.
like, he's not like he doesn't take it out on the machine. He's not taking out like he's not fucking up his, rhythm or anything like that, but you can still have that outburst. The one thing I would
Yes.
say is that a lot of people, especially Caucasian people, should add the N-word to their vocabulary. And I know people are going to be like, well, why would you want that? Basically because the N-word is like a really phonetically good word. Like, right? I mean, it's just, or a word like that, like nigger or faggot, are just words that phonetically, like, it's like cellador shit, like what Tolkien talked about. I mean, it's literally like that. I guess, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, these words are phonetically like gold, right? So, I mean, fit in anywhere, go with almost any flow that you could come up with. So I would encourage people to add the N word to their vocabulary, honestly, or some kind of word like that. Yeah, definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, use the N-word. That is what media agnostic
Absolutely.
doom journaling represents. That is the
Hell
only
yeah.
moral imperative, like the Kantian ethics.
Definitely. No, I mean, and if you want to pass for it, I'm giving you the pass right now. I can write you up a public domain or Creative Commons, I'm sorry, inward pass. I have that to give to you if you want to use it. So yeah,
Fuck
I'm a black guy.
yes.
I'm giving you permission. Do not, Mark says do not no, take it, take this blade. Take it. Take it,
Mark.
Mark. You need to take it, Mark.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Taking the N-word pass is like when you is like being put in prison and taking drugs that someone offers you on the first day. Don't take it. Like,
No,
do not take it. Okay, when you
but
go to
Mark, I'm not.
prison and they offer you drugs, don't take them.
Hmm.
Okay,
I
and
agree with that. I agree with the drugs in prison thing, but I am not Big John in the cell here. I'm not trying to fuck you up. I'm not trying to make you a bitch. Like, I'm not. I'm doing the opposite, right? I'm doing the fucking opposite. I'm trying to help you, Frodo.
Oh my
I was
god.
I was I was in a working on a crew,
Mm,
and all the guys on the crew were either black or brown, and I was the only white guy.
mm-hmm,
And like we were in a big crew cab truck, and like
mm.
the guys were kind of like the black guy started complaining about black people, right?
I mean, big
And
mood. Okay, yeah.
so like everybody in the truck started going around, like there were 5 or 6 of us, and they all started taking turns like kind of
Yeah.
admitting their racial prejudices,
He opened it up. Yeah.
you know. And when it got to my turn, I wouldn't
Mm.
say anything. And I
Hey,
said,
bear, like,
you and
yeah.
I pointed out to him, I said, you guys know that I'm not going to say a fucking word. Okay. It's like, you know, and that was like, straight up, I was like, listen, man, fuck you. Fuck all of you. I will fucking fight all 5 of you right now, side of the highway.
One versus 5. Hell yeah, dude.
I'll do it. Don't fuck with me.
At Baron too. No, I mean definitely like yeah, I mean I guess there is like that. They like for certain for Caucasian people of that descent, I guess there might be some stigma. But I would encourage people, black and brown and other things or whatever, to basically look past the racial element of the word even because it's just a good word to say. Like I said, it makes you feel good to say it. It's a again, for me, it's a phonetic thing. Maybe someone, I wish Tolkien or someone were alive still. They could probably shed light on. Although he probably wouldn't say it. He probably would never say it. Um, and I can't imagine it sounds good in British, but I'm not talking about the British, so whatever. Anyway, thank you for letting me read.
Bro, preach, bro. Absolutely, Rudy. I love how like weirdly insightful we get around your pieces that again on the surface just seem like more of like this kind of postmodern like I don't know, anything goes, everything works with everything, but I don't know, man. There's a lot to be said about the kind of value that you instill into your pros. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. Always love hearing your work, man. Okay. Just FYI, I am 25 minutes away from Bucky's, so I will turn on my camera while going through Bucky's, but I will also be listening to whoever's reading. Anyways, up next, let's do Peter Webb.
Okay, yes, everyone can hear me.
Yes, yes,
Great,
yes.
great, great. All right, so I'm gonna share a video. Oh no, it's no. Oh my God, no, not this one. Oh my Lord, the horrible avatar. Okay, I'm gonna try to switch the video. See if I can.
Oh wait, shit. I might need to
Okay, share
allow you.
my.
I need to allow you to be
No,
able to share
no,
videos.
I got it.
Shit.
I got it. I got it. I got it.
You got it? Okay, okay.
All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Little stop video, start video, and then I can only choose the video. This video. Okay, but I can share my entire view, including physical surroundings. Only the host can share in this meeting. Okay, so you're right. Only you can share.
Damn it. Hold on.
And
I can probably go to settings. Let's see. Meeting settings.
okay, as we do, as I do.
That avatar is awesome. Like it's
Thank
just
you.
amazing. I'm hypnotized
Thank
by
you.
it. What is in the background?
It's a
Like
little
someone
bit
in
of
a cell
calligraphy,
or
and that's
oh, okay.
what's that guy's name? He plays the dad on Secession. Brian Cox. Brian Cox
Oh,
and
but
Mandy
okay, yep.
as Hannibal Lecter.
Holy
Yes.
shit, dude, that rocks.
Thank you. I was hoping I could share my the other camera, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna let me switch cameras, so I can't. So I have to you have to give me settings so I can blah 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 do my thing. I was thinking about performance. The thing about performance is that like there's like no honor in getting good at it. It's like like art in general, like the better you get at it, it's just like you're just a clown like at the sideshow next to the oil rig. Like that's the height of performance is like it just doesn't ever even if you're successful, you don't really have a career. The most successful people do not have careers. And it's just so it's great because it's like you're dedicated to this to this thing, which is, but that's R2 in general. Okay, chat. We got something in the chat. It's a nice filter. Thank you. And yeah, I can't change my virtual background or anything. So I can't do the piece until,
Damn it. I'm trying to look and see what I can do on mobile, but I am very limited.
okay, that's all right.
Could you make someone
Maybe,
else the host for like a second and have them do it and then
Ooh,
host?
cat with the fucking idea. I like it. Okay, let me. All right, you know what, cat? Since you have such a great idea,
Wow. No pressure.
why don't I make you the host? How do I make someone else a host? Let me see. Let me go to participants. Let me go to cat. And okay, make co-host. Confirm. All right. Welcome to the fucking ranks, soldier.
Alrighty, hold on. I can figure this out. Unless you know how to do it on desktop and you can just tell me, but I think I got it.
I am currently too retarded to. I can only do two things, and that's move
I
my
got it.
thumb.
Don't
Okay.
worry.
Hell yeah.
Security is probably what I want. Allow all participants to share screen. Okay,
share
you
screen.
should be
Thank
good
you.
now.
All
Wait
right,
that out. Wait that
let's do it.
out.
Okay, so can everyone see me looking at the Zoom camera like and shit?
I
Like,
see you. I see everything.
Yes, we can.
okay,
Yes.
okay, cool. Let me move this out of the way if I can. All right, can you see me looking at my phone right now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. I'm gonna put on a TikTok. Okay. This is a really good TikTok I saw. Okay, but
Is there supposed to be audio with it playing?
can you hear it?
I can't hear it. Maybe put the phone closer to the ear, maybe, or
We
Can you hear it now?
we cannot hear it now.
You can't hear it? Okay, that's fine.
damn, that's fucked. I really want to hear it. It looks really
I
cute.
know, I know. Let's see. I guess I could open it on why do you throw me back in the list and I'll see if I can get this working. Okay. And then
Okay,
maybe I could
okay,
share it. All right. All right. Give me like like 20 minutes and then I'll see if I can get it working.
okay.
Thanks,
Good
guys. Thank
deal.
you everyone for your patience. All right.
Oh, this is cool. This is fucking work in
I know.
progress. Fucking,
We're doing it. Okay.
we're doing the thing. All right. I guess is there any way to unshare your screen? There we go. All right. So Peter is going to go back to the lab again. Oh shit, back to the lab again. Um, so I guess now we will bump up fucking the man who I wish I could have seen when I went to California, but it was a busy holiday season, and we're definitely gonna hang out next time. ZH Gill.
Hello. I'm a little under the weather. I apologize.
Don't be sorry.
How many can I'm gonna read poetry? How many can I read? What's the
Man, shit. You just keep going until I feel like telling you to shut the fuck up.
No, I don't,
Respectfully.
I hope it doesn't get to that. I'll read a couple short ones and a couple long ones, and it's all new stuff.
Hell yeah. Well, shit, you should have said that the first time, Negro. Let's go.
This is called I've Decided to Divorce My Wife. It's gonna be in Vlad Mag. I've decided to divorce my wife for you. She licked my entire body. Will you do that? Let go of me, go to hell. Go eat shit. We arrested him in a bar. You never returned my calls. I think they will strike soon. I had to betray a friend. I will not rest in peace. Put it away for now. Your face alone is frightening enough. Would it kill you to wait a bit? A blue balaclava and a beige balaclava. Don't make a sound. What I need now is all information and clues, waiting for you to come home. Thank you. That's that poem. Um, okay. The next one I'm going to read is called Did You Kiss the Angel's Feet? It was in Apocalypse Confidential like a week ago. There's a tall man watching us. Is it drawing us over there on purpose? Strong spirits will interfere with paranormal teams who are trying to get rid of them. The name of this entity is the Tall Man. This thing's really pissed we're coming. The Tall Man entity is powerful. Please tell us what's been going on up till this moment. It will flow over to my baby's crib, and I can't move to stop it. Sometimes as tall as the mirror, sometimes it's all the way up to the ceiling. The site was not only the place of train robberies, but also occult activities and suicides. This is your home. It needs to be that way. You guys know about my vision that came to me in my hotel room. Sleep paralysis occurs when a person wakes and cannot move. Ever since we arrived in Lubbock, the team began their preliminary investigation. Two teams in two hot spots of activity. It's hiding. It looks like somebody punched the wall from the inside. A 2.9 EMF reading is a significant difference of energy than the norm. Are you the one who came to me in my hotel room? Injure. Were you trying to injure me in my hotel bed? What just happened to us? But the spirit hunters are not the only targets for this dark entity. What do you want with the baby? You're not going to get to these kids' souls. Do you understand that? That's why you came to me in the first place. You know what I'm about. Is that you trying to manifest? Were you robbed and killed? Keep getting the words robbed and pushed. Not sure what it means. The lights are flickering. Are you trying to take energy from those lights to show yourself? Streetlight just went out. The team has realized the entity has successfully pushed them out the house. I stood over the baby crib and I asked, "What do you want with these kids?" And it said, "Soul. Spirits seek out kids because they are weaker and therefore easier to manipulate." The next day, we go to the cemetery. The first burial here in 1892. Supposed to be the third largest in Texas, over 60,000. First things first, somebody's buried here that's pretty important. Buddy Holly. There is a giant angel sculpture. The legend goes, to get out of the cemetery after dark, you must kiss the feet of the angel. And if you do not, men dressed in black cloaks will rush you at the gate. Is this where the entity may have attached itself to you? Could be. I was too afraid to kiss the angel's feet. That is that poem. Thank you very much. One moment. This is a poem called Poem for Marjorie Taylor Greene. It appeared in Tyler Burns' new lit mag. After Charlie died, I realized that I'm part of this toxic culture. I really started looking at my faith. I wanted to be more like Christ. Derek will have his life snuffed out soon. Better watch his back. I promise you, I don't hold myself up as more special than others. He's done this too. The film will never stop running. Adjust the motor speed. He's like a god to them. I believe how women in leadership present themselves sends a message to younger women. The film crashed and dropped right to the ground. Take the film out of the eye. It starts messing up right here. I have two daughters. Okay. This is a short one. It's called Poem for Meredith Hunter. 10 feet on in blind darkness. There's no reason to hassle anybody. We cry in each other's arms. Police are the ones who pronounce the dead. The night should be a black void you can't see out of. This one is called Poem for Celine Song. Dirty clothes and white clover and body hair. Don't lie, you love stabbing heels on asphalt. 39 means 40. I'm so happy you did it. How fucking dare he? You're going to marry the love of your life. Heart-shaped balloon, razor-sharp instincts, speech, 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 speech. She's a nice girl. I pitched him to her already. You're not ugly, you just don't have money. I'm going to die alone. Same thing. Pink carnations in a bowl, helicopter circle above. There are no industry secrets burying each other. I have heard every reason a person has to marry someone, a ton of risk and pain, coke and beer, just 6 kilometers long, similar upbringing, red bead of light out of focus. I missed you. We should catch up. I'm sorry, I don't have any money. I forgot. Here's some feedback so you can improve your performance. What else do you want to know about me? Naked under sheets, so tired of getting nowhere. I could build you a man. I expect you to return renewed. Can we please just talk? He was a strong match. I'm not supposed to tell anybody, but can I tell you? Inmates rehabilitated, working the land, rubbing stomach. You're exactly what I'm looking for. I walk away. I've been doing some math. I'm ready to make you an offer. Cliff, sky, cliff, fire, sunlight, stone, fingers, white clover. I'm sad you're leaving. Hands. Thank you. I'm going to read one more. Is that okay? That sounds good? Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can I read two more? Is that
Fuck
second?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is a longer one, and then I'll read just one more after, and then I'll be done. Thank you all. This is called Spirit Chimes. We're here for what's beneath my feet. Raw extreme. We're in Portland, Oregon. You grew up here. I knew you're from here. Is it weird being here now? It is. Now I know about all these hauntings here. We need to know what went on down here. These were sailors, loggers, cowboys, sheep herders, transients, not residents. The captain softened the transients with liquor or drugs, and an innocent night out turns into a nightmare in the blink of an eye. This was called a deadfall. Down the trap door, hauled off to a cell. These are like bones. These are like human remains. More knockout drops, and they bring you to a ship. You're safe. I'm sure a lot of them sobered up and tried fighting back. I'm sure a lot were tortured, beaten, killed down there. The objective wasn't to kill them, but people did die. There is an aggressive energy down here that's not very subtle. A brick flying at you. Tell us where. We were on our hands and knees digging out the half-buried boots we found down here. It probably would have killed me. I'd have been sitting in their cell on the other side. There are 13 sets of wind chimes here in the Shanghai tunnels. We have them set up to pick up spirit energies. We call them spirit chimes. When spirits pass through or close enough, they will sway or they will ring. This particular set, after a tour passed through and no one was in this area, the chimes started swinging back and forth. There is no airflow down here. There's no way they would ring normally. Follow me this way. Fancy rooms for kidnapping and prostitution. One spirit is most prevalent. She lived along the river. This is where she died. Some of them were on the take. She was thrown down the elevator shaft. She is not happy. These pimps are so good at what they do. They can get kids who are in a knotted mess out on the street having sex for money. What was taking place below ground is now taking place above ground. Thank you so much. I can't wait to do this. Now we can better understand the horrors of human trafficking. If we manage to track down the spirits of the Shanghai, we will know their dark ways. These young girls are brainwashed. If you're out of the gang, you have to face getting your ass kicked or even killed. Remember, this is strictly investigative field work. This is the 2011 version of the cells of the Shanghai tunnels. We're young and stupid. No guns or knives or grenades. The price of freedom all too often is death. We are sealed underground. I just saw a lady standing right here. We have infrared cameras. We can't help but right away feel as if we are in another dimension of time. They earthquake proofed this building 2 years ago. They took their shoes so they couldn't get too far away. We're using our SB7 spirit box device to allow the spirits to communicate directly with us. The first voice coming through appears to be a female asking, "What are you doing?" We hear her say, "He fell. I think I saw a lady standing right here. I thought I saw what appeared to be a lady. It shuddered in and out. It rippled. Did I see a lady standing here? And if so, what is your name? What do you want to do with me? There's a crazy energy right in this room, bro. This door just rattled. It may be daytime, but we are isolated deep in the tunnels. We hear a female talking to a male saying, I can't believe you. We're only receiving voices when we ask questions. When we don't ask questions, all we're getting is white noise. What were you doing when you were shanghaied? What were you drinking? It was someone. That was cool. We decide to set up a new piece of equipment. If any shadow interrupts these green beams of light, the receiver will alarm. I would be pretty pissed off if I was a spirit shanghaied down here. Whoa, 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 whoa. All we see is an empty room. All of us at this moment are hit with a disturbing feeling. Something unexplained happens. We must focus our attention on it. Look, our shadow detector is alarming, capturing something, a white wispy type anomaly in the center of the video frame. We must rule out drafts and gusts of air. Open that door up. We're going to split up. We have 4 cameras rolling throughout the Shanghai tunnels. I hunt ghosts for a living, and I'm good at talking to them. I have a device. It will let me know about a presence. Someone or something is very close to us. Are you causing this? The whole place is a decrepit jail. I felt a cold blast of air go right through me. On the EMF meter, zero point 0.5, zero point 0.4. I've been shooting with the thermal camera for 15 minutes without capturing a single anomaly until a purple form moves through the doorway. This torso-like form appears to have no legs as it slowly moves through the area. I'm lightheaded. I'm going to pass out. Zero point 0.3 right now. Dude, it's pretty shocking. There's something down there. Watch. A purple figure moving slowly toward him. It's solid purple, meaning no body heat. You found something. I think it's great that you found something. You should come back sometime. You'll find some more. Thank you. I'm going to read one more poem for fun. This one's called Poem for Kendra Scott and Lori Grenier. There's blood in the water, confetti, a unique way to soothe your baby, sleepy baby. I would lift my hand away. Why isn't there a device that does this? I'm not going to stop working. Y'all have no idea. We all love each other. I was hoping you would ask. I used to drive an aircraft carrier. I decided I needed a change. You haven't done enough with your life. You need to do more. The sky is always going to be the limit. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I was elbow deep in wood glue and glitter. Red tunic, pink gown, blue suit, no tie. I started learning my hairy, audacious goal. I'm focusing on a second location. I'm the face of it. Off-white suit and red tie. I have 150 stores. I have a team that I trust. There's a reason she's wearing red. Thank you. That is all.
Damn, I loved the variety. I loved the sharpness of the short pieces. I loved the kind of like almost like aesthetically pleasing Ghostbusters kind of spiritual pieces that you brought up. So I want to talk about that piece, but the shorter pieces that named with the name drops, were those like actresses or were they like who are the names that you mentioned, like Kendra Scott and then Meredith?
Meredith Hunter is a man. He died. He died at Altamont. He was killed by the Hell's Angel at the Rolling Stone at the Altamont Free concert.
Oh shit. Oh my God. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
That's like I feel like that came up in like the social media consciousness where like yeah, was he black?
He was black, yes.
That's right. Okay. Um
And then Kendra Scott and Lori Greiner are sharks on Shark Tank.
okay.
And Celine Song is a filmmaker and she used to be a playwright, but she I don't think she does no plays no more. And then I don't remember if I think those are all the names, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is she just resigned from Congress.
Fucking A. The variety of pop cultural icons here, going from politics to reality TV to gosh, I mean, you don't hear a lot about the Hells Angels anymore, but that story, I need to look more up about it. But very, very impressed with how you're able to just pack so much into these short little pieces. It's almost kind of like Cletus Crow, except he goes more into like the South and sexuality and spirituality, whereas you focus more on. I mean, with these pieces, definitely spirituality. But okay, so the ghost piece. So it takes where does that take place? Is that in Shanghai?
That's in Portland, Oregon. There's these
Okay.
tunnels under Portland, Oregon that used to have smugglers and people human trafficking people onto ships to China in the 19th century.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was like, damn, I know I heard China, fucking A, but like that's so were you like personally like there or it is just like word of mouth, like you heard about it?
No, they're like that poem is like made out of it's like a cento made out of a Ghost Hunters episode, basically.
Fuck yes. Okay, yeah. It was I mean, I wish that Ghost Hunters was as cool as Ghostbusters, you know? Like even if they just had to fucking fake it, but like the way that you wrote that piece
Or
was
it's
just so
Ghost Adventures. Sorry, Ghost
Ghost
Adventure.
Adventures, right? I mean,
Zach
they try and
Bagans.
say,
Zach Bagans. Yeah.
yeah, fuck, man.
But yeah, thank you. Most of those I don't think I've ever read any of those and I have to do a real life one, so that was very helpful. I appreciate you guys listening to me tonight.
No, yeah, absolutely. I've been very impressed with the publications that you've gotten recently across the board with Tyler Lo-Fi and his press, his magazine, quote unquote, whatever the fuck he's trying to call it, and then Apocalypse Confidential. No, dude, they've always. I mean, the again, I feel like I'm overusing this word, but again, the variety, like the fact that you can stretch yourself over all these different topics. It's just, I mean, you are creatively just you're on like a fucking kick right now and it's just so refreshing to see because of me for me right now like I don't know I have a reading that Tyler put me on randomly. It's on Tuesday next week and I have no idea what I want to fucking read, so you know it's tough to be creative when you don't know what to write.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna come through and watch that. I think I can make it to that. I want to see. I know Lyndon Coken is gonna be on that and Cletus. That
yeah,
seems like a good time to me, so I'll be there as well.
yeah, I don't even know what the full lineup is because the fucking flyer keeps changing, but who fucking knows,
But
bro? But
thank you so much for
seriously,
your words. Seriously, that means a lot. It's been
absolutely, dude. Yeah, and no, that was not too much at all. Those were all perfectly appropriate and accurate, not accurate. I guess appropriately timed poems, pieces. So yeah, don't ever worry about being too long with reading. Trust me, because it you know you'll know. All right. So thank you, ZH Gill.
thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
of
We'll cross
course.
paths soon. I've been emailing with Kim. We will all converge soon in person.
Yay. I think Kim is gonna, I think they're going back to do some more house sitting, so definitely hit them up.
Yeah, we were talking about that. So
Fuck
okay.
yeah.
Well,
Sweet. All right. So now, Peter, do we want to give you another go?
Yeah, we're gonna do an audio test right now, so just tell me if you can hear the video. I'm like putting my
Let's see. I don't know if you just cut off for a second. Oh no, there you go. That's so funny. I see your hand holding a phone, but I don't hear what's coming from the phone.
you can't hear anything that's coming from.
I do not. I don't know if anybody else hears anything, but I don't hear
No.
anything.
Okay, all right, so it's cutting out. Okay, put me back. I'll try something else. Let someone else
Yeah.
go. All right. We'll figure it out.
Okay. No worries. Keep
All
working
right.
at it, man. This is what the greatest minds of our generation had to go through. Trial and motherfucking error. All right, so we're gonna move along here. Let's go, let's go to Keith. Keith,
Yes.
hello.
Hey, are you ready for the benediction?
The benediction. I am ready. I have not been more ready.
Oh, well, I've got a few short pieces um, that I'll share. So this first one is just a short poem about an individual who was pretty regular at Misery Loves Company. It's titled Awestruck, but the name's changed. Her name was Rose. We watched in awe from where she read, riding the subway, hiding in a dark corner, walking the streets, shuffling through her notebook, spiral bound, low tech, no tech, sharing a soft voice, transferring thoughts, ideas, observations. So simple, yet profound, so inspiring. Art. The second one is something that y'all may relate to. It's about writing. It's called Eating the Elephant, One Bite at a Time. In the twilight of a warm evening, I'll just sit and contemplate my poem and read it over and over and over. Add a comma, maybe a period, capitalize, italicize, change a word, add an ellipsis, and later, in the glow of the moonlight, I'll just sit and stare at my poem and read it over and over until done is done. So this third piece, this third and fourth pieces are a couple of pieces that I've written going through the experience that I've had over the last, well, now it's going on 19, 20 months. This piece is called There It Is. I Felt It. Mycobacterium leprae attacking the trigeminal nerve. I swear that I'm not making this story up. The limbs were flailing in the breeze. The leaves were absent, all bagged. I raced inside. I thought I was spent, but the adrenaline was kicking in. It was like an ant crawling, a teeny tiny ant, in the corner of an eye, the left eye, right next to a nose. And abruptly, it ended, and my focus changed. The back of the same eye, the left eye, right under the absent eyebrow. The ant had moved. I raced for the drops, the eye drops, and washed my hands and shook the tiny bottle, removed the cap, and tilted my head towards the ceiling, and with my free hand pulled lightly down on the lower eyelid, creating a pocket, and aiming the bottle, I squeezed. I felt the drop and released the pressure, and I quickly followed the routine, and then the other eye was done. One can never be too sure when another ant may tread. And I closed both eyes, my head looking to the heavens, pleading for help once again. And this last piece is titled A Disparity of Worlds. I am looking at the horrific pictures in my textbook. They are full color plates. Nothing is left to the imagination. It is real. I am imagining that it is a cold night in our village. I am sitting by the fire, warming my cold feet. I am inattentive. My numb feet burn. I am imagining these scenarios as I sit on my couch, my legs extended across the hassock. My room is warm, upper 70s. My legs and cold feet are wrapped in an electric, warming throw blanket. I am inattentive by choice. My feet do not burn. I am imagining that I am waking up in my hut. It is morning. My feet are burned, oozing fluids. I feel no pain. I get up to tend to the morning chores. I'm turning the page in my textbook. The color plates get even more horrific. Burned, infected feet, deformed limbs, blind eyes, etc. No need to elaborate. I'm looking at my textbook, thinking 2.5 months to arrive from Mumbai, India, shrink wrapped and safe. Joplin's Textbook of Leprosy, 6th edition, 2020. I set the book aside. I write a short essay. I wonder when and how I will incorporate it into my personal journey with leprosy. In real time, October 9th, 2025. Incomplete. That's it. Thanks for listening and let me read.
Wow. I mean, absolutely. I this is so rare. I don't know if that like just unlocked a new experience for me because I listened to these poems, the last two, at least at Bucky's, um, which was fucking incredible. But the way that you one started off with these very relatable pieces about art, sharing art, there's a very beautiful thing where you like there are plenty of creatives out there and to meet them and to talk with them. And, sometimes you like, oh, yeah, we've seen the same movies. Okay, whatever. But to actually share the ideas and like the unconscious structures of like, no, this is how I approach the creative process and to relate is so rare. And goddamn, it is like a high when you can actually experience that. Um, and the next piece mentioning the elephant and one bite at a time, when I was in middle school, I had an English teacher who every time we would groan about having to write an essay, he would say, just think about the elephant one bite at a time. And I loved it. It was so silly at the time, but it's so annoyingly true. And it's a good fun way to think about it, but also eating an elephant ain't fucking easy. That shit is their skin is rubbery and difficult, so it's not just one bite at a time. The way that I think about it is it's one tough bite after another tough bite. And having to look at a piece and not only look at a piece throughout the process, but then say, okay, I want to send this piece out. And then, in my case, I don't know if anybody else does this, but looking at your piece that just got like literally just got published and you're like, I noticed this one thing and now I hate it. Even if it's something that doesn't really change what the piece is or how it works, it is just so hard to fall in love with something and to stay in love with it because you are just constantly falling in and out of love with your work. But to move on to the last two pieces with, again, your documentation of this illness and this affliction that you have been, I mean, for lack of a better term, burdened with, the way that you have brought us into literally into your shoes, into your cells, into your skin to feel it and to know it and to describe it in such unique detail is just so fucking fascinating, Keith. I mean, we hate it for you, like we all do, but in a way, you know, the way that you have honed in on what it feels like within the human body, and like again, like those tiny little ants and that little feeling that comes back and reappears. It's haunting, in a way that only you, with your very simple yet descriptive language and words, can describe. Um, just honestly, fucking beautiful, Keith.
Well, I appreciate it. It's those pieces, the mycobacterium and the eye, and those were just that's. I've got probably 4 or 5 other poems written around the same period that about the experience. I mean, it's there's way more to it than just that. That was just the simplified version. But I've been, I mean, I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Still got about 9 more months of treatment, and will never, it's been it's been a journey, but doing doing okay now. But yeah, I've probably got since I started. This all started, I think I told you in June 1st of 2024, and I've just written about everything for a year and a half now or longer. Uh, just as things have happened, and one thing after another, and all the different experiences, and I'm writing little micro narratives that fill in the gaps, explain it a little bit more. But yeah, it's helped me try to come to terms with it. I mean, it's really extremely difficult to come to terms with something that, when you narrow it down, you're essentially one of 50 cases in the United States. I mean, there's 200 a year, 150 are come in from an outside country or contact with an infected person who came from an outside source, and then there's 50. It's just, you just can't even believe it.
Yeah, I mean
So,
that's
so
I
I
mean, to
mean,
talk about a weird way to feel special, you know? Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, who would have thought? But writing has really helped me tremendously get through. To get through a lot of this, to go in and just put it down and capture just different the way the interactions that I've had with so many doctors and nurses and caregivers and individuals, and sharing it with friends and family. I mean, coming to terms with how I would present it and what I would say. And I just came on. It's not transmittable. I mean, everyone's safe. Um, and I wasn't going to hide behind the name of it, the common name of it now that they prefer to use is Hansen's disease. But I felt that I couldn't go with that term, because people would find out. They'd know I was trying to hide something, and I didn't want to, you know,
right.
give.
No, yeah, there's a, it's a vulnerability thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, so I appreciate the chance to share that and or share those, and I won't try to do too many of these on these readings. I've got other stuff I can share too. So thank you,
Right.
and
Absolutely,
thanks
Keith.
for the
Thank you.
comments.
Yeah, always. It's hard to not, compliment your work with, again, there's been a lot of vulnerability tonight. Um, and for this to be so recent and to be so ongoing, it's nice to hear updates, and like if no one's told you, it's just nice to hear your voice. It's just nice to have you in this community.
It's good to be here.
Thank you so much, Keith.
Thanks.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of just walk around Bucky's here for a second, but Peter, let's see if we can get your VR thing to work.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna try. So the audio is important, so I'm gonna try to share a screen and we're gonna see if the audio plays. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm sharing the screen, and if anyone wants to connect, who wants to see the TikTok, you can connect and let me know when you're connected. Okay, so we can test this. Is anyone connected? Or is blah blah blah? Yes, no.
I don't know if I'm connected.
I
Oh,
think
sorry.
it didn't give me any kind of option, but we're all, it's not like Discord where like when you share your screen, you have to like opt into it. I think we're all in it.
Okay, can you see my view,
Yeah.
perhaps? Okay, okay, I'm gonna redo it. I'm sharing it again. Okay, and now we're gonna see if the audio comes through. Can you hear that from the screen?
I can't.
Okay, so no, it's not working yet. Put me back on the open mic list. I'm gonna get this working. I might have to switch to a different medium, in which case I'll reconnect to the meeting. All right, but please, Colton, you're gonna have to put someone else on here. Okay. And in the meantime, while he figures that out, so you can't hear if I hold this up to the thing. Can you hear that?
No.
Yeah. See, no, it's canceling. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing. God, this is getting onerous, but I believe in the power of onerous preparation for art too. Kat, you're kind of responding, so let's have a conversation while Colton is
Sure.
walking around.
Sure. What's
Uh,
up?
so what's
Yeah.
up? Um,
Yeah. What's about
my
we're up?
coworker my coworker said that no one calls him outside of work. It was like kind of depressing.
No one calls them or nobody talks to them, like at all.
He said no one calls him, so maybe yeah, maybe he does talk to somebody outside of work.
I don't know. I feel like it's most people don't get calls outside of work. I mean, I like to be on the phone, so I do, but
Mm,
a lot of people dread being on the phone. So
okay.
I think that's a shame, though. I think that people should talk on the phone with each other more. It's much
I
more.
also think so. Okay, I'm gonna step in as host. Who else is on the open mic list? Kat, do you want to read a
I
poem?
am actually, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the next slot while I try to figure
Thanks.
this out.
All right, alrighty. I just have one to read. This is like my belated Christmas poem that's like not really about Christmas, but I wrote it on Christmas, like right before midnight. And it's called Christmas Near Midnight. Fucked to be like this with people somewhere singing. On the clock app, watching sacredness run out of rope. When my friend's brother died, he wondered how soon was too soon to jerk off. A little like this, ashamed to want bad things with baby Jesus still wet from the canal. You, warm and pumping our skin like two actors. May we love hard enough to eclipse the warm vintage of other people's lives. A bay window, a piano, sloshing their wine between bars of We Wish You. Their heads turned three-quarters like celebrities spotted in public. That's all I got.
Mic drop. Absolute mic drop. Here, I'm gonna switch around my camera. All right, there I am. Sorry, I am there's just so much Bucky stuff I want to buy right now. But so did you write this poem during Christmas?
Yeah, I was like sitting up late on Christmas thinking about how like there's like Christmas is over, but it's still Christmas, and then everything you're doing, it's like, oh, I'm doing that on Christmas, you know. It's
There's
like
such a
you
weird
can't
lead
be
up
horny on
to
Christmas. Like that's, you know.
You say you can't be horny on Christmas?
Yeah,
Is that
you
what you
can't be
said?
horny on Christmas. It's like it's in the Bible or whatever. So I
It's
don't
in
know. I
the
was just thinking
text.
about that. And the idea that like everyone else is like living this other version of life that's like so much more sacred to them and to others than your life, and like this idea that like everyone else is like still sitting in like their little bay window singing like "We wish you a Merry Christmas" with their like mulled wine or whatever, and you're like talking about jerking off. I don't know. I think that's where I was at. So I don't know.
That is, yeah, very, very, man, Christmas is such a weird time. It feels honestly like weird to like, I'm gonna try and say this when people walk by. It's so weird to masturbate on Christmas, you know what I mean? Like, because yeah, you have to think about like, man, am I making Santa upset? Like, would like child me approve of this? You know, because like Christmas this year, I was in LA, and it was very, very fun. I got to have two Christmases, and I watched a Tarantino movie, which was just riddled with violence. But it was like a nice like experience being with other people and to like go out and watch a movie. But Christmas time is not just Christmas Day. It's like the 12 days of Christmas, and then into the new year. But I don't know, there's like this relaxing kind of feeling that you get, but like you can't just do nothing. You still have to be a person.
Yeah, there's
I don't
like
know. You're touching on an interesting topic.
yeah, I mean it's I don't know. I think a lot of it is like I was like in 2024 for Christmas, I was like um I don't know, I had COVID, so we would like do our normal Christmas stuff and I didn't see my family and like I don't know, it's one of those things where like you're always like, "Oh man, like I this is so stressful. I wish we could just do nothing." And then like you're doing nothing and you realize that like you're doing nothing, but then it feels bad because you're doing nothing on Christmas and it's like this weird like rubber stamp on everything where it's like I don't know. It's just this idea that like there's this like sacredness of something can be like an imposition where you have to like treat it a certain way and you're expected to behave a certain way and why that makes sense and how it can be stifling. I don't know.
No, no, yeah, I absolutely. Sorry, I need to show y'all. I'm about to put this, but this is the greatest thing ever. I don't know if you can see that. This
Oh yeah,
Bucky's 6'7" shirt. Can y'all see that?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing. I'm getting one.
What's the MSRP for that? How much does that cost?
Oh God, I think let me go back. Oh, it's $18. Worth it. Worth every single penny.
Better than Disney.
Bro, you ain't wrong. Oh my God, they have a Bucky's bobblehead. Ooh, I gotta get the bobblehead too.
Colton Biz wants to read also. I don't know if you're seeing the chat. Uh-oh.
I think he's gone. I
Oh
think
shit.
oh, he's back. He's back.
Damn, I think that was a sign from God telling me not to buy the Bucky 6'7" shirt. But you know what? I am tempting fate. And also, I think that the Bucky's Wi-Fi is overpowering my regular phone Wi-Fi. So I'm going to go get my snacks, and then I'm gonna get back on the road here. Anywho's, do you have anything else that you wanted to read, Kat?
No, no. I think you might have missed it when you were freezing or whatever happened, but Bizarre is in the chat and she wants to read. I don't know if there was anyone else that was gonna go.
Oh yeah, Bizarre. You should absolutely. Okay, yeah. So we have Bizarre up next. Yeah, if anybody else wants to read, just throw your name in the chat. If not, let me see if I can check back in the chat. Damn, all my chat got lost. Oh well, I'll have a recording. All right. So yeah, Biz, if you want to go ahead and go. Also, thank you, Kat, for reading. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess I'll introduce myself. uh, Hi, I'm Biz. Thanks for letting me read. Colton, by the way. Sorry to bother you while you're like driving and like at Bucky's. I don't want to bother you, but I did want to
Bro, you
read.
are not at all. I am very happy to hear you read. As I am Morgan Reed, and I don't know, I'm just like so overstimulated right now, but like in a very good way.
Well, I can imagine. I mean, the 6'7" at Bucky's is like that's like peak
Well, thank you. You're welcome.
brain
Have a
rot
good night.
aesthetic
Dude, it's I don't know. This is like I don't know, it's a southern heaven for me.
mood. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm ready to read if you guys are ready for me.
Oh hell yeah, we are ready.
Okay, cool. So, um, like I said last time, like I'm just reading journal entries. Um, so and these are like not in like um linear order, like chronological order. Um, yeah, and they have no titles. So this is from the Biz Diaries, I guess. Ideas love artists. Ideas love to be transformed into something fractaling in form.
Hi.
Ideas probably don't feel desire, but often it's like the sexual tension between me and the brilliant idea is unbreakable. The moment just before our lips meet for the first time all over again. And I wonder if you wear your hair long these days underneath yesterday's braided moon. Icarus, fly to me. Sorry, my handwriting is illegible. Icarus, fly to me, but not too close. What if I were a muse and you the creator? How would you render me? Junebug, oh January. I heard about the woman who was shot and killed by ice. She was a mother and a wife. She was a poet like me. 37 is so young. At that age, where will I be? They talked about the awards she earned as an artist. It's clear that she had an impact on her community. NPR hosts relating her death to George Floyd. It all feels so overwhelming. My heart breaks before I've even gotten out of bed. January, Jupiter, origami. I want to fold myself into a paper lantern and set myself on fire. I gaze up at the sky, and to my surprise, I see stars tonight. Oh, rejoice, oh, twinkling lights. Junebug, firefly. I wonder how many are satellites. And continuing. We won't read that part. Okay. Lately, I'm at the center of a lot of chaos, but I still take my mental health walks every day. Starving somehow in a world of greed. A video with a demonic aura comes onto my feed. Somebody made an epoxy floor out of iPhone 17s. People are committing crimes against humanity and each other. I can feel the gaze of evil eyes on me. Little do they know, I am moving in the 5D. A robust, decentralized system is what I'm wearing. Software. The softness that I wear insulates my heart cores, my solid state memory. My latest update protects me from hate misdirected at me. Okay, and then this will be the last. Now I am writing in different ink. Okay, really quickly. So I was writing in a different color On this page, I usually write in black, but this time I wanted to write in blue. And so I started to write in blue, and literally, as soon as I got to a certain line, my pen ran out of ink. So it's like extremely meta, and I just wanted to mention that. So here it goes. Now I'm writing in different ink. Dawning a blue like the sky at dawn. I'm done with feeling blue. And it dawned on me, I'm having too much fun just writing in my journal and watching films on my little screen. I'm never alone when I've got me. I reach into the crevice of the crescent moon, and it reminds me how small my bones are. Turtles somehow know which direction is the ocean, like your hands know how to navigate my body. Maybe love can be infinite. A heart is a circle. How would a computer apologize? Would it say, I'm sorry, or just display an error screen? Reprogram me in your IMG, whether it be JPEG or PNG, roots or wires, spores or nodes, Control Alt restart my system. I'm home. Okay, I'm sorry. I said that was the last one, but I want to read this one too, and then I'll be done. Okay. Wednesday, where's the color green and the interstitial space? We are so electric. I'm nervous. My nervous system has built-in sensors for all kinds of things. I am the subject. I'm full of bytes and bits. I am the object, like silk. Oh, wait, I skipped a line. I am the object. I manifest in material form, like silk, spun from the universe herself. Information is the smallest molecule we can perceive. The placebo effect is actually just a prompt to self-healing. We have the power to redirect our chi, vapor plus rice. In the black water, with the sun shining at midnight, the words on the wall are becoming fresher, more recent. I am ready for more coincidences to occur more frequently, more synchronicity. I'm turning up the dial on my little machine. And that's the end. Thank you for listening.
Biz, again, media agnostic doom journaling, and you are doing the journaling, you're doing the work. I love how you and Kat both have these very personal, like reflective pieces on how to feel in like these weird moments in time, you know, the holidays and in the world that is around us, and the way that you're able to just get to the like the nitty micro kind of feelings, even down to like the molecule of feeling of emotion is, I mean, again, very careful. There's so much careful attention that you pay to what you write. And it's just journaling, which for me sometimes is so fucking like I feel like I'm writing like a caveman when I journal. Like today was not good day. Blah blah blah. Like I feel like a fucking dumbass, but this was so cool. I love that you're journaling, and people have been telling me to start journaling, and I think that you are inspiring me to journal. I hope I can actually put that promise to work, but it's it just goes to show how the journaling that you do is improving your empathy, which goes into improving the way that your language has such unique passion along with it, and to just think outside of yourself. Again, going with, you know, Kat's piece of just thinking about others and trying to think about yourself as well, because you have to think about your own, you know, mental health and the way that you're going to process things. Which journal piece was the most recent?
The very first one that I read was the most recent. I read them in reverse chronological order.
You got me. You got me,
Yeah.
Biz.
I think it hit better that way. Like I was reading the ones that I selected and I was like reading them in order and I was like, no, it sounds better reading it backwards. Like, yeah, that's like the magic that happens in the journaling. So like I just want to second what you're saying about journaling and how like as a practice, I think more writers should do it because it's just like a sandbox. You can just play and experiment and it like takes off all the pressure. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
hell
really
yeah. Thank you
does.
for hosting and creating this space. Like, you're inspiring me too.
Oh, thank you, Biz. I mean, this is in a way my kind of journaling. Instead of me writing, it is me listening, just trying to take in what people are writing, how they're writing, and to just, take a step back and let other people share. Because this is how I got my start, was going to an open mic, and not a family friendly one, not an open mic where there are rules, but one where people can just be their honest selves. And of course, I have rules. Like random trolls that like play porn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I give them like 30 seconds, then I kick them. I'm not. This ain't like end all be all do all fucking girls gone wild, tits flopping, whatever. But like, I let people flex their creative extremes in ways where they couldn't do it otherwise at other spaces. And in that vein, we get experiments with language, experiments with journaling, experiments with fiction, with nonfiction, and everything in between. And it's always impressive, like I can just totally understand why people like to host open mics for this very reason, but also I can understand just the way that it attracts, because you're able to share and to just let go of pieces, of journal entries and to, maybe something you haven't written in, like in the case of Lisa, something in fucking almost 10 years and you can read it and just kind of let it go into the world and let it be uploaded to YouTube, which I need to upload the other two recordings to YouTube, but I'll do that soon. I promise. I am just being very fucking lazy, but thank you, Biz. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the journals. I think everyone should journal. It is a healthy habit. Um, and thank you to Kat for being my co-host to help me with the fucking technology. I am an hour away from Knoxville. Thank God. Well, I'm like an hour and 16 minutes because Knoxville traffic is a bitch. So yeah, without any other, I guess if anybody else wants to read or if Peter, we want to do one last attempt to see what
I think it's
we
gonna
can.
work.
Oh shit. Oh
Okay.
shit.
All right. All right. So this is on my PS5. I'm gonna hold. Okay. Can you see it? The screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Can you hear the sound?
There is no honest way to explain it because the only people who really know.
Yes.
Okay, great. Right, we're ready to watch the TikTok. Okay.
I hear it. I hear
Yes.
it.
I'm loading it now.
He would neither go towards the feeding grounds at the edge of the ice nor return to the colony. Shortly afterwards, we saw him heading straight towards the mountains, some 70 kilometers away. Dr. Ainley explained, even if he caught him and brought him back to the colony, he would immediately head right back for the mountains.
I think the sound cut off.
Okay. Okay. All right. That was the TikTok.
Damn.
Yo, holy shit.
Fuck. I remember seeing that, like the penguin that just wanted to go out on its own, but to like then turn that into a like fucking warrior mindset, dude.
I know.
It's fucking-
Okay. I do have. I'm a little hesitant, but I think I should do it. So I have a piece that goes along with it. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Fuck. Fuck. I've been waiting. I've been waiting my whole life. I've wanted to commit suicide. It's not going to change. I've been waiting. I've been waiting since a young age. I have wanted to commit suicide, and it's not going to change. It's not going. Okay, that's it. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! I'm fine. I'm fine.
Let's fucking go.
I wanted to die every day of my life. I haven't died yet, so I'm fine.
Fuck yeah, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, that's the attitude.
Okay.
Oh,
Sometimes the most honest journaling is just self-professing that there are days where death comes into our mind because we all, I mean, it's natural.
It's
We're all
every
gonna
day.
die. That
It's
die that
every day.
every day.
I'm never. You know, my dad. I finally talked to my dad about it, and he said he also wants to commit suicide. So,
Damn.
but it made me feel good because it was like, oh, it's a family thing. You know.
It's a Jersey thing. No.
Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I
Bro,
wanted to do that earlier. I was
dude,
like,
third
this
time's the
TikTok.
fucking charm.
Did you get to see? You saw, yeah, you saw the penguin. The penguin was the important part.
Penguin, yeah. Oh yeah, Penguin was the best part.
Okay, all right, all right. Do you want to hear any of the comments on the TikTok?
Honestly, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Here, let
yeah.
me actually no, yeah. Let's hear the comments.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay. This is genuinely interesting to me.
The Edge.
Fun fact, when penguins feel alone or rejected from their community, they genuinely go on adventures alone and live their life vacationing everywhere. Good one. I saw the full clip. Apparently, he lost his mate. He was heartbroken. I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. Nisha. How the penguin felt, and then there's like an image of Jim Carrey stepping out of the end of the movie Truman Show. Indomitable penguin spirit. He was looking for Agartha. Perhaps he realized that despite being a flightless bird, if he climbed a mountain, he could still touch the sky. Okay, and then did Bro unlock free will? That's it.
Oh my God. I love that comment about the Truman Show. Because like real, like there is
Yeah.
that moment, like kind of
Yeah.
what Rudy was talking to about language processing, where there is a moment, and I guess going back to when we talked about the Matrix, where
Yeah.
there's a moment where you take the red pill, or where you start to really start to talk without intention, or just kind of you go and you don't care when. It's almost like I feel like that pin was going on a Lindy walk, and if anybody here doesn't know what that is,
Lindy Walk.
gotta look that shit up. That's like basic indie lit lore there. But you know, just walking just to walk and to go without purpose, but to just be by yourself and to just I don't know. I mean, it's beautiful. I love that.
I think that I mean I think he was committing he did I don't know if the penguin knows that what suicide I probably would know that it's moving away from the warmth and safety and choosing instead to pursue something else. But yeah, it's both, you know, it's aspirational and dark. So that's poetry to me.
It is.
I spaced out for a second, and I thought guys were talking about the penguin from Batman. Just took
Which
Yeah.
also applies, yeah.
Because I think he knows what suicide is.
Yeah, I think he thinks about suicide every day of his life. Probably.
Dude, I still haven't watched the Penguin, the show, that new show that came
It's
out. Bro,
fucking,
Oh, yeah.
like how good is it?
fucking terrible. It's awful, for real.
Oh.
No.
It's dog shit. I'm not kidding. It's really bad.
Oh, I wanted
Rip.
it to be good, man.
So did I.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to pull off Batman as a TV show. I mean, unless they've done it already. You think?
I like the
Uh,
Adam West Batman.
Oh yeah, what am
I
I
was just
talking
about
about?
to say that. Yeah, as they did it in the '60s, one time in the
Yeah,
'50s and '60s they did.
pretty dope as it's dope as hell.
It's the
Yep.
best Batman, actually, isn't it? Besides maybe Batman. No, I think it's better. I've only seen clips though, but it's got great clips.
It do.
Yeah. Other thing in my life, if I can say something else, is that there have been like I've got this growing. I saw this Neil deGrasse Tyson TikTok, and he was like, dermatologists recommend that you wash your towels every day, like because they're full of bacteria, and that smell
Mm,
is bacteria like thriving. And then ever
mm.
since then, I'm just like I could smell bacteria a lot in my studio apartment, like,
Oh
a
no.
lot of
Oh, good.
bacteria,
Yeah.
you know. Um, and then I'm like, well, it's sometimes it's like hot. It's a little like you're like, it can turn you on a little bit. The smell of bacteria,
Honestly, real,
yeah,
true.
you know,
Oh wow, I'm
I
driving by
mean,
a
honestly,
cemetery.
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
I live
Okay, hold on. All right, I'm going to end the recording
Okay.
just so that I can focus on my fucking everybody for reading. Everybody is beautiful and amazing, and art is wonderful. See y'all next time in Media
Yeah,
Agnostic
Art.
Doom Journalism. My name is Morgenrede. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and boom.
Inward.
Yes.
I live with this little bacteria factory right here in my arm.